Hi, Dhinidhi. Firstly, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking out time because I know this is like the busiest time you can have with this year.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dhinidhi, you're just 14 years old, all right, and you've qualified for the Olympics. How does that
Yeah,
happen, and how does that feel?
it's an amazing feeling, but again, I wouldn't say it as an achievement for me personally. It's more of an honor and the blessing that I got a chance to go at just 14 years old. I mean, I knew that I could go. I knew that I had a shot at going to the Olympics, and I knew that and to get it at such a young age is an amazing feeling. So it was kind of unexpected as well at the same time, but that's just how it is.
Absolutely. When did you, so just tell me about this starting. When did you start swimming? What inspired you, to take up swimming?
So, in the sense, I wasn't really into the sport. I really didn't like it. But okay, I'll go a little bit of a background info. So, as a kid, I was really shy, scared. I wouldn't speak to anybody. I would say slightly, ever so slightly introverted. So, my parents thought, okay, why don't we put her into a sport? Maybe be with the other kids and maybe to learn swimming, particularly because it was very close to home, and also he thought it was like a life-saving skill as well, not just okay we just to make some friends. So I decided to go to the pool. I didn't like it. I would run out of the pool. I wouldn't put my feet in. I wouldn't put my face in. I was scared of heights as well. I couldn't jump off the diving block that is there. So for some time it was really difficult. I wouldn't get in. I was like slightly forced in, which I really didn't like. But the more I did it, the more comfortable I became. I think it took me a good 1 year to even feel comfortable enough to sit inside the water. And the more I did it, and also my coach at the time said that, okay, she has good stamina and she has the capability to do well. So why don't you put her into competitive swimming? And that's how I came here and I just continued from there.
What age was it when you started? What age were you?
I was, in the sense, I started when I was almost 7, but I think competitively I was gonna be 8. It was just a little before me gonna be 8 years
Okay.
old.
And then, Nidhi, of course, I'm sure you must have been asked these questions a lot, but again, balancing education and professional swimming, especially now you're at the Olympics level, how difficult is it? And how do you, balance both?
Again, education is really, really important. Now that I'm in ninth grade, it feels like since I study in CBSE and I study in Kendriya Vidyalaya, it's a little bit of a jump and it's a little difficult for me to handle it because eighth grade was still easier. I wasn't really going out to that many competitions. I'm not still able to go to school, but now with the really, really, really hectic schedule, it's hard to keep up. But I have some amazing classmates who help me with my notes and help me with my schoolwork whenever I need help. Even my teachers, for that fact, like I sometimes I cannot write the exams because of really important competitions. So there have been times where they've been accepting for me particularly to do retests. So they arrange that and they're really considerate about me not being able to come to school all the time, which I really, really appreciate. But again, it is super difficult. It's not at all easy, but you can do it. It's not that you can't. I have tuitions, I have ways to study at home. My mom teaches me also a lot. So I think that's how I'm managing. We're like kind of just managing. I'm not there up with the class here because the class is well ahead of me because obviously they're going to class every single day, whereas I'm barely able to open a book each day. So it is difficult, but it is possible. Not that it isn't.
Nidhi, you know, at just 14 years old, it's difficult also because, missing out on many things. For example, I know how traveling for an athlete can be, and it can be isolating. It can be, very solitary, and swimming, of course, not every time you go with the team. So
Mhm.
how do you cope with that?
Cope with precisely what?
Cope with, traveling alone, missing out on, say, going out with friends, or just sort of
Okay, got that. Yeah,
relaxing.
yeah, yeah, got it. Again, it is really difficult to even get time and date to just relax, call somebody, or to have fun because we're so into the sport and we need that much dedication and effort to get to where we want to be, which for me was obviously to be the best swimmer that I could be. And yes, I do miss it a lot. I have so many friends who call me all the time. Yesterday was my friend's birthday party, her 14th birthday. I couldn't make it because I was in the middle of training yesterday, which I felt kind of bad. But then I have friends that understand that, okay, sh- she is swimming, she cannot come for our birthday because she has bigger things to focus on, which I really, really appreciate that I have some friends like that who really understand how hard it is. Like when I was a kid, nobody really understood that, okay, how hard it is. But then the more I did it, and the more I stayed closer with them, the more they understood, okay, she's not gonna come. She's really busy. She has so many other bigger things to focus on. So yes, I mean there are some rare occasions I get to go with them, and those I really, really do cherish. But a lot of the time, I do miss out on a lot of just being a 14-year-old, like going out with friends to the mall, going to movies, and doing all of that. I really do miss. And a lot of it, even for competitions, I generally race with people who are like double my age or like 20 plus. And I don't really race with kids my own age. And even if I do, it is somewhere internationally. Sorry, somewhere internationally and not here in our own state or in our own country. So that also sometimes feels a little bit lonely because everybody I go with or race with is people who are much elder to me. So it is really tough. But I mean, if I want to be the best that I can be, there has to be sacrificing. That also means sacrificing friends. And that also means being alone. But it's not that I'm completely alone. I still have them. And it's not like they are like pushing me away. So it is really sad. It's sometimes really hard, but I mean, it is what you got to do.
Dhinidhi, what does a day in your life look like? When do you start training? When do you dedicate your time to studies? What about physical fitness, mental training? So if you can just give me an insight into uh, how a day goes in your life.
Oh, okay. So again, now I'm in camp, which is in Padukone Center. So that the schedule is a little different there. But in general, what we do is I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Around actually no, I get up around 4:30 in the morning, and then I get to the pool at 5, and then we do a 2 hour swim session. And then again, because of the hectic schedule, I've not really been getting time to go to school. But generally, I would go to school and then spend time there till maybe 2:30. Come back home, have lunch, sleep a little bit because I'll be really tired, and then go back, train for another 2 hours, and then come back. And then there's probably 8:30 or something, and then we'll have to go home, sleep because there won't be time to really do any homework or such. But again, and also
Uh,
it depends. Some days we have gym, so that's also an extra 1 hour, which is on. I mean, the days also shift based on competitions and stuff, and also training. Sometimes we do lesser, sometimes we do more, sometimes we get more sessions off. Generally, I swim 10 sessions generally, but there are times where we do nine. Sometimes there were times where you had to do a little more because I was going and racing sooner. So yeah, it's a very flexible thing. It's not that very standard, but this is what I would say generally what I would do.
okay, Dhinidhi, now that the Olympics are very close, you
Hmm.
planning to go earlier to Paris and train, and
Yes.
get used to the temperature, etc.
Yeah. Yeah. I am going next Sunday, which is basically the 20th night. So I will be there for another 10 days. I'll be back on 31st. And my race is on the 28th.
So, is there any sort of pressure you're feeling, before going to this biggest stage one can possibly be at?
I I did feel pressure the second I got to know. It felt a little overwhelming because there was just a lot going on at the moment for me getting into the Olympics. But the more I soaked in that, okay, I'm going, it became a little less stressful. If you know what I mean? In the sense, I mean, yes, there are people expecting, yes, there is like, what do you say? People might think, okay, she has to do well, this is there, and a lot of other things. But I honestly feel like I'm gonna go to Paris and learn a lot, do the best that I can, and that's all that really matters. Whether the time is good or not, I don't think that really matters because I'm just 14 and there's a long, long way to go. So I'm just focusing on giving the best that I can and soaking in all the learning from the competition, because obviously it is the Olympics, it's the pinnacle of sporting events in the world. So just to soak in how it feels like to be in the facility, the stadium, the food, the buses, the athletes. So see all of that is, I think, what I'm thinking of. And pressure, not exactly. Yes, I did feel it, and yes, it's obviously gonna be there once we get to the event. But right now, I wouldn't say so. It's more excitement and sort of like a jittery feeling to
That is
go get there as soon as possible and
No, that's
experience
brilliant,
what it feels
Dhinidhi.
like.
And my last question to you is, let's talk about your support system. I'm sure your parents and coach must have a very crucial, quintessential role. So if you can just tell me a bit
They do.
about that.
So yeah, I don't think where I am today would not have been possible with all the support I've had. So obviously there's my parents who might be the biggest support I have, obviously, because I mean they are my parents. It's just like how the support is there. We work as a really good team. And also my coaches, Nihar Amin, who is the head coach of Dolphins, and Madhu Kumar, who directly trains me and all the other kids around my age in Dolphins. And I feel like they had really shaped me up in terms of my swimming, in terms of getting me faster and better than who I was as a kid. And I remember that I didn't really have much, what do you say, terminology to the sport. I didn't really know what particular terms meant. I didn't know what drills were, what this was, what type of kick, what type of pull, what type of underwater. I didn't know a lot of that. And Mother Sir understood that, okay, the kid is too small and that she has come from a pool. And again, the pool next to my home was just like a learners club pool. It wasn't like a professional pool like Dolphins or BAC or anything else you get internationally. So it was, and he understood that, okay, she doesn't really know much. And I was only 9 at the time. So he, at least he was good enough to understand that it was very difficult for me. And he always helped me in whatever I had to do at that moment. He was always there and always pushed me and made me better. And then there's my school, who's also really been really supportive. As you heard that, okay, they helped me with a lot of schoolwork and stuff. And also have amazing classmates. I mean, yeah, sometimes they're a little pushy because they're all really into education, and sometimes they don't really get the thing behind sport, which is sometimes a little difficult. But I have some really good classmates who understand that as well and always try to help me whenever I need any help. And also my swim teammates we always have a good competition in the pool whenever it comes to our training. So I think they also have pushed me to become better. And we're always like it's like the swimming community is like kind of a second family. So that itself has been a huge support. Even my gym instructor, my psychologist, my dietitian have all been super, super supportive. It's like a really big circle. So I think none of this would have been possible if they were all not there.
Absolutely. And you mentioned you had these dietitians, physiotherapists, psychologists, etc. What about sports science, Nidhi? I mean, does that also feature in your circle?
I don't have somebody who particularly looks into the sports science part. I would say no, not really. I mean, does sports science? Yes, that does play a huge factor. I wouldn't say that there's somebody who takes care of it for me. But yes, sports science plays a huge factor in the sport. That's how the sport evolves. That's how the sport continues to grow and become better in the future. So it does play a huge role in terms of not just my career, but in everyone's career. We should know what is going on in this sport for us to continue and keep getting better. That whether that is improvements in the science or the technology part of the sport. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Nidhi, you've achieved a goal which a lot of people achieve at a very, very later stage in life. So, what are the
Hmm.
other goals you've set apart from the Olympics for yourself?
Again, the Olympics was a goal, yes, an ultimate goal. But then later on, as the more I started swimming, the more I realized that the Olympics isn't the biggest thing in the world. What is you trying to become better? So for me, it is to see that, okay, what is the best that I can be? How fast can I be when I am probably like 24, 25, another 10 years down the line? Where will I be? Would I be a contender for the medal at the Olympics? Would I be I don't know, maybe I could be in a different college, maybe I could be a professor. We never know, but I want to be the best version that I could be myself and not just thinking of the sport because the sport isn't everything to me. There's a lot of things to do, and it's also a really good feeling to know that, okay, you're putting in your best efforts to be the best that you can be and not to think of, okay, there's the Olympics. And sometimes thinking about that also like kind of eats up my head. So just trying to be the best that I can be is what I look forward to each and every single day. That's how it keeps me motivated to come to the pool as well all the time. Thinking that, okay, thinking that I want to be better. So I'm going to come every day and put in the work. Not just because of the Olympics. It was just also for my personal growth.
Apart from swimming, what are the other things that interest you?
I really do like music. Started listening to a lot of music. Now it's a nice way to get me calm. Also, I do draw and make greeting cards for a lot of people. So that's, I think, stuff that interests me. Sometimes it's not really, I don't get much time to do stuff like that, like to draw or to do anything else other than like probably just go swim, eat, come back, sleep, and study. There's really nothing else that has been going on. But whenever I get time, I get to do it. And it's kind of therapeutic in a way for me because it kind of gets my head out of the swimming circle of my life. It kind of puts me in a different world. So I think that's only maybe the few things that interest me.
Super. Thank you so much, Dhinidhi, for taking out time. And it was
Yeah,
just
thank you.
lovely and very refreshing speaking with you. I mean, for 14-year-old, I mean, I don't remember I was that mature, but it is just amazing. And I wish
Thank
you
you.
good
Thank you
luck
so
and
much.
we hope that you come back with a medal and I know you'll give your best. All
Yeah.
right. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you.